If your car broke down tomorrow, would you have the right tools to fix the problem, or would you be stuck waiting for help? You don't need a giant mechanic's toolbox to handle the most common car problems. You just need the right 10 tools. In this video, I'm breaking down the 10 tools I think every car owner should have, why each one matters, and where each tool can save you time, money, and a whole lot of frustration. First up is a good socket and ratchet set. This is probably the most useful tool on the list because modern cars are held together with bolts and nuts of all different sizes. A basic set with metric sockets will handle a huge number of jobs, from removing battery terminals and engine covers to working on brackets, intake components, and interior parts. I'd look for a set with both shallow and deep sockets, a few extensions, and a reversible ratchet. The reason I prefer a complete set is simple. You don't want to discover halfway through a repair that you have the right socket but can't reach the bolt. Number 2 is a reliable torque wrench. This is one of those tools people skip until they realize how easy it is to over-tighten something. A torque wrench lets you tighten a fastener to a specific torque instead of just guessing. That's especially useful for wheels, spark plugs, suspension components, and other parts where the manufacturer specifies a torque value. Too loose can cause problems, but too tight can damage threads or the part itself. You don't need the most expensive torque wrench on the market. You need one with an appropriate range, and you need to follow the torque specification for your particular vehicle. Number 3 is a digital multimeter. If your car has an electrical problem, this little device can tell you far more than simply looking at a fuse. A multimeter can measure voltage, resistance, and continuity, which makes it useful for diagnosing batteries, charging systems, wiring, switches, sensors, and electrical connections. Here's where the mystery starts. A car can have a battery that looks perfectly fine but still have an electrical problem somewhere else. With a multimeter, you can start testing instead of guessing. For example, checking battery voltage with the engine off and then checking the charging voltage with the engine running can give you a quick picture of what's happening in the electrical system. Just make sure you understand the meter settings before probing live circuits. Number 4 is a tire pressure gauge. It sounds almost too simple, but tire pressure affects handling, braking, fuel economy, and tire wear. And here's the strange part. A tire can look properly inflated and still be significantly underinflated. That's why I don't rely on appearance. I use a gauge. Check your tire pressure when the tires are cold and compare the reading with the pressure listed on the vehicle's recommended tire pressure label, usually found on the driver's door area. Don't automatically use the maximum pressure printed on the tire sidewall. That's not necessarily the pressure your vehicle is designed to run. Number 5 is a portable tire inflator. A pressure gauge tells you that your tire is low, but an inflator gives you a way to correct it. A compact 12-volt inflator can be a lifesaver when you discover a slow leak or your tire pressure drops during a long trip. You connect it to the vehicle's power supply, set or monitor the desired pressure, and inflate the tire. But there's a catch: an inflator doesn't repair a damaged tire. If the tire is losing air quickly, has visible damage, or won't hold pressure, treat that as a repair problem rather than repeatedly pumping it back up. I keep an inflator in the car because finding a low tire at home is easy. Finding one on a dark roadside is a completely different story. Number 6 is a quality flashlight or headlamp. This is one of the cheapest tools you can own, and somehow it's always the tool you need when the sun goes down. Trying to inspect an engine bay with your phone flashlight is awkward. A proper flashlight gives you better visibility, and a headlamp is even better because both hands stay free. Look for something rechargeable, or keep spare batteries with it. You'll use it for more than repairs, too. Checking a tire at night, looking under the car, finding something that fell into the engine bay, or dealing with a roadside problem all become much easier when you can actually see what you're doing. Number 7 is a set of screwdrivers and trim tools. Cars aren't just made of metal and bolts. There's plastic trim, clips, covers, electrical connectors, and countless small fasteners. A basic screwdriver set should include several Phillips and flathead sizes. Then add a plastic trim removal kit. Those plastic tools are surprisingly useful because they let you remove interior panels and clips with less risk of scratching or damaging the surrounding trim. One mistake I see all the time is people using a metal screwdriver to pry plastic panels apart. It might work, but it can leave permanent marks. The right trim tool makes the job much cleaner. Number 8 is a set of pliers. I'd actually keep several types if your budget allows. Standard combination pliers are useful for gripping and holding. Long-nose pliers can reach into tight spaces. Locking pliers can hold a stubborn component when you need an extra hand. And side cutters are useful for cutting wire ties and certain types of wire. Pliers are especially helpful when a bolt or connector is awkward to reach with a socket. Just remember that pliers aren't a substitute for the correct wrench. If you're working on a fastener that needs proper torque, use the correct tool instead of crushing the edges with pliers. Number 9 is a breaker bar. Now this is where we move from everyday convenience into serious mechanical leverage. A breaker bar looks similar to a ratchet, but it's designed for loosening stubborn fasteners rather than rapidly removing them. The longer handle gives you more leverage, which means you can apply more turning force without putting as much effort into it. This can be extremely useful for stubborn wheel nuts or other fasteners that haven't moved in years. And here's a good rule: don't use your ratchet as a breaker bar unless the manufacturer specifically says it's designed for that purpose. A stuck fastener can put a lot of stress on a ratchet mechanism. Number 10 is a basic OBD-II scanner. This might be the most interesting tool on the entire list because it can turn a mysterious warning light into useful information. When your check engine light comes on, the car's computer usually stores diagnostic trouble codes. An OBD-II scanner can retrieve those codes and give you a starting point for diagnosis. But don't make the classic mistake of treating the code as a direct answer. If the scanner gives you a sensor-related code, that doesn't automatically mean the sensor itself is bad. The code tells you where the computer detected a problem. You still need to test the system and figure out why that problem occurred. That's the difference between diagnosing a car and simply replacing parts until the warning light disappears. Now, if I were building a basic car owner toolbox from scratch, I wouldn't buy everything at once. I'd start with the socket and ratchet set, multimeter, tire pressure gauge, flashlight, and tire inflator. Those 5 tools cover a huge range of everyday situations. Then I'd add the torque wrench, screwdrivers and trim tools, pliers, breaker bar, and OBD-II scanner as my needs grew. You can build a very capable toolbox without spending mechanic shop money. There's also one thing I'd add alongside these 10 tools: a small emergency kit. Tools are great, but some roadside problems aren't really repair jobs. A warning triangle, reflective vest, gloves, basic first aid supplies, and a phone power bank can make a roadside situation much easier to manage. And if you're changing a tire, make sure you know where your vehicle's jack and wheel removal equipment are stored before you actually need them. Some cars have unusual jack locations or locking wheel nuts that can turn a simple tire change into a frustrating search. Before you buy any tool, think about the jobs you actually expect to do. If you only perform basic maintenance, you don't need a professional mechanic's collection of specialty tools. If you enjoy working on your own car, you can gradually add better sockets, extensions, torque tools, electrical testers, and specialty equipment as you encounter new repairs. The goal isn't to own the biggest toolbox. It's to have the right tool when the problem shows up. And there's a bigger lesson here. Good car maintenance isn't really about being a mechanic. It's about understanding what you're looking at before you start turning bolts. A multimeter can stop you from replacing a good battery. A torque wrench can stop you from damaging a fastener. A tire gauge can catch low pressure before it becomes a bigger problem. An OBD-II scanner can give you a direction instead of leaving you staring at a check engine light wondering what went wrong. If you want to take this even further, check the description box. I've shared links to current Amazon deals on the best tools from this list, so make sure to check them out. So here's the mystery: if you could only keep 3 tools in your car, which 3 would you choose? Would you go with the tire inflator, multimeter, and flashlight, or would you pick something completely different? Drop your answer and your own roadside or DIY repair experience in the comments. If this video helped you build a smarter toolbox, hit like, subscribe, and stick around for more practical car tips. Because the best tool isn't always the biggest one. It's the one you have when you actually need it.